You know,
Sweetheart.
George Foreman had a German Shepherd, and when he had a German Shepherd and he brought it to Africa when he's fighting Muhammad Ali, they were very distrustful of him.
Because of the dog?
Because he had a dog that they used to sick on black people.
Wow.
So when he was bringing this guy was bringing a dog that they recognized as the enemy. There's a lot of people that were very distrustful of him.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
He should have brought my dog.
So that helped Ali.
If he brought my dog, it would have created unity in South Africa.
They still wouldn't have trusted it. It's the breed.
Yeah. That thing's sweet. I love him.
They didn't have those breeds back then, though. They only had one kind of German Shepherd. You ever see what German
gnarly.
Shepherds look like over the years?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make them for show dogs, their hips have dropped.
Right.
And they look different. If you go to like a German Shepherd from like 1930 and then look at a German Shepherd from 2023, it's a different animal. They're sloping.
You know that bulldogs can't, true bulldogs like MCA or whatever.
Jamie's dog can't fuck.
They can't, and they only give birth. They only give cesarean birth.
Yeah, I think Jamie's dog can't breed normally. You got to use the turkey baster.
But
right?
neither can Marshall.
I haven't tried.
Marshall can if I let him.
Yeah, the problem is you won't let him.
Well, he was always gonna want.
He texted me on the way here. He said to talk to Joe, see if I can get some
I would
ass.
definitely find a good lady that, and it would have to have homes for all the puppies. But you know, it's the thing about dogs. Like you're not saying I want my dog to have sex. You're saying I want my dog to procreate.
Right.
That's a different thing.
Yeah. That they can't. Right. They don't do it for. I think about that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
That human beings. By the way, I think this is a great and lucky incarnation to be a human. It's really good. But it's also humans are. We have warped evolution to such a degree. Like we shouldn't be hung up about stuff. We can't have sex is so simple for every other animal.
Right.
It's just like I get in there, boom, I got a baby.
Well,
and we're
also
over here going like I'm ashamed.
Covered in clothes, which is just a bizarre invention.
Right.
What a bizarre thing we've done to our bodies where we can no longer exist in the atmosphere. Even if it's warm, people wear clothes. Like it's become a thing where you're shielding your genitals from the other people because they represent your sex.
Well, also though, I have heard that when uncontacted tribes, really old school, sustenance living sort of Iron Age level tribes come out of isolation and decide to join the world, a big part, what they want is clothes. I think it might be really cold out there. Just in life.
Oh, yeah.
with no clothes.
Well, it definitely is sometimes. It's not perfect all the time. But I think that's why we used to be hairy.
Right. I still have some of that. It doesn't seem to help.
I mean, there's some fucking dudes in Russia. There's some Russian wrestlers that look like a human lived 200,000 years ago. Looked like they're fucking covered in hair, like everything, all the way their neck, all the way through their back, their chest, their arms, full thick hair.
Yeah,
it's like that's probably what we were like. You ever seen a real heavy, hairy Russian wrestler?
Sure. I mean,
look at this dude.
Oh, yeah, that's my guy.
I mean,
right
this
there.
is a man that exists right now.
But he doesn't look like he would stay warm in the winter.
No, because it used to be a lot thicker.
Yeah.
But I think that was slowly over time when we chose to wear clothes. We invented clothes and chose to wear clothes. I think slowly over time, people lost all their body hair. But I think at one point in time, when you see these really go to that other picture of him where you see his back and everything. That one, perfect, that one. That's a fucking different kind of hair than the average person has. That dude has long hair on his shoulders.
Do you think you think that, like, if you have more hair, you're older school?
Probably.
Like your genetics are older school?
Probably why they're so good at wrestling, too. They're
there's that
strong
whole
as shit.
There's that whole thing that we all have a little bit of Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, I have a shit ton.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, look at how fucking hairy these dudes are. I think this is just the 2023 version. I bet if you could go back 200,000 years ago, people were just covered in hair. I mean, and that's what they think about, like, ancient hominids. It's not like one day they weren't hairy.
So you think I might be, like, quite a man?
A little manly there.
Thank you.
How's the back?
Back is clean, dude. I don't know how. I don't know why. It's a blessing. Yeah. I'm telling you, this life is magical.
I got a hairy back.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You don't... Are you a shaver?
I get my wife to shave my back.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you imagine what would happen if I asked Natasha to shave my back?
It would be a problem.
It would be a no. I can tell you that.
She would do with those gloves, the ones that go all the way up to the elbow, and she'd be complaining the entire time.
Yeah,
but
darling,
it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. She should probably film that.
She would never. I cannot even. I love
Yeah.
this image though. Elbow length gloves. She's got a custom made razor with
a
golden
fucking
pearls on it.
face shield. Shaving
Oh
your
yeah, one of the
back.
COVID shields.
Yeah, I get hairy.
As do I.
Yeah, I get itchy though too. When I get too much hair, it pools up in between my tits, and I get itchy.
Do you shave your arms?
No, not
No.
most of the time, not. But I have a few times. It makes my tattoos look better.
I mean,
not
you don't
covered
look
with
very hairy from here.
Yeah, they're hair. You can see it. You get close. This is because there's all the tattoos. There's hair.
My hair stop. I swear to God, my hair stops here. It's like I have a reverse farmer's tan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe your people for the longest time wore short sleeves.
That could be true.
That's probably what it was.
You really think that?
Yeah. I think that's why people have hairy forearms for the most part, but they don't usually have hairy shoulders. I think that's where it comes from.
Evolutionarily.
I think the whole thing comes from clothes. I think our whole adaptation to, I mean, if you look at it, like I would imagine urban people, like if collectively people who've lived in urban environments for longer periods of time probably have less body hair than, if you follow their genetics, than people who live in like very cold rural climates, like fucking Canadian men that live in like Alberta.
Right.
They're probably hairier dudes.
It's weird that with what you're talking about, you're kind of talking in a strange way. It reminds me of like original sin too. It's like straight up biblical.
Right,
like
right. We've lost our abilities.
The first big event that occurs is something goes wrong. And the human becomes aware of its nakedness. It's not what it's what you're talking about. Not what I'm. It's not about cold.
Right.
It's about like shame.
Yeah.
Like what I do believe, in answer to a question you asked me 2 hours ago, like are all of these rules somehow connected to a functional, nearly scientific corollary, right? Like trichinosis or whatever.
Yeah.
I do believe that on some level, every bit of biblical information, every bit of religious information, it has some sort of allegorical and metaphorical connection to our past. Like, what does it mean that Adam and Eve saw their nakedness and realized they were naked and decided to cover up? It speaks to like a historical truth. Definitely, I don't think Adam and Eve saw their nakedness and were ashamed, but something occurred where we realized we are naked in the world and we must cover because people can't look at what we're doing.
Well, it just makes sense that once they started wearing clothes, seeing people without clothes would be just this shocking thing.
I can tell you an exact corollary for that in my personal life. When I go to Burning Man, last year was my 24th time at Burning Man.